We trust the lamb, not the donkey or the elephant. And this story is about Coco Gauff. You may know her name even if you're not a big tennis fan, because she is the 19-year-old American who recently won the Women's U.S. Open Championship. And she's the youngest American to win the U.S. Open since Serena Williams. She just come off a really heartbreaking loss in the French Open. Now, Coco Gauff, if you're not familiar with her, is very open and public about her faith. And it seems like she has a real substantive faith, not the athlete, touchdown Jesus kind of faith. But everybody knows about it. I mean, think about somebody like Tim Tebow. Everybody knows about Tim Tebow's faith. Well, everybody in tennis, they know about Coco Gauff's faith.
And so after she won the U.S. Open, she goes to the sideline, she gets down onto her knees and bends her head in prayer, just begins praying. And afterwards, she talked about her prayer life and in tennis. And she's actually got great theology. It's not prosperity theology, God gives me wins. This is what she said. She said, I don't pray for results. That's pretty remarkable if you think about it. I mean, just step back. I would be praying for results.
Should have prayed for this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. She says, I just ask that I get the strength to give it my all. Whatever happens, happens. I'm so blessed in this life. I'm just thankful for this moment. I don't have any words for it, to be honest. So Coco Gauff afterwards, she publicly says that she was praying. Anybody who's covering tennis would know that Coco Gauff is a very public Christian. Again, think Tim Tebow. And yet, shortly after the game, after that interview, ESPN SportsCenter tweets out a video of Coco Gauff praying, and this is what they write. At Coco Gauff took a moment to soak it all in after winning her first Grand Slam title, heart emoji.
So in other words, ESPN didn't recognize that she was praying. They saw her kneeling there on the side of the court and interpreted that as just soaking it in, just overwhelmed by the emotion, soaking in the crowd's applause, taking in all the glory. And that's a big miss, but maybe you excuse them for it. But here's where it gets even more interesting, is that when people pointed it out, hey, Coco Gauff's a Christian, she's praying. Isn't it pretty obvious? They never corrected it. They didn't take it down or make a different kind of post that explained that she was praying. And so people started to go public with their criticism. Tony Dungy, the football coach who has a very public faith himself, tweeted this. I hate to break this to you, SportsCenter, but Coco Gauff was not soaking it all in at this moment. She was praying. She has been very open about her Christian faith in the past. It seems pretty obvious what she is doing here. I mean, of course he's right. Let's ask a more interesting question, and that is, why did SportsCenter say that what she was doing was soaking in the glory, when in reality, she was giving glory to God?
I think it's an incredibly fascinating question. And so, of course, you got your right-wing media pundits who give the nefarious answer, which is, you know, these evil people, they don't like public prayer, and so they're intentionally choosing to misrepresent it. And, you know, I guess the cynical read is possible, but I think there's probably a far more reasonable answer, and it's this. We have become so post-Christian that intelligent journalists, at the highest caliber of sports journalism, the intelligent journalists quite literally cannot recognize prayer. Like, not that they won't recognize it, they're seeing it and they don't recognize it as being prayer. Or at the very least, I suppose maybe they feel squeamish about mentioning it. But to me, it suggests that they don't have a place in their mental framework of reality for someone giving thanks to God. And so when they see her with bent knees, head lowered, hands clasped, they simply assume that she's taking in all the glory when, as you said earlier, Keith, she's actually giving it all away.
I'm Patrick. Thanks for watching this video. If you're passionate about ending tribalism in the church and giving Jesus your allegiance, you're not alone. We have a podcast and a book. They're both called Truth Over Tribe. You can download the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can buy the book on Amazon. I hope you'll check them out.